An Illinois mayor is getting national attention for the way that she's spending taxpayer dollars.
WGN Investigates has learned South suburban politician Tiffany Henyard has lost another key ally. Until recently, Henyard enjoyed near unanimous support on the Thornton Township Board, but now trustee Carmen Carlisle says after trusting Henyard and remaining silent, she will be a whistleblower against Henyard.
Has information that indicates the FBI has launched an investigation into controversial Dalton mayor and Thornton Township supervisor.
This isn't just the tale of a small-town mayor. It's a full-blown saga of extravagant living funded by taxpayer dollars. Have you heard about the FBI's latest shocking discovery? They raided Tiffany Henyard's home and uncovered millions of dollars stashed away, like something out of a blockbuster heist, all while her town was sinking deeper into financial turmoil. Henyard, who gleefully embraced her super mayor title, now has some serious explaining to do. Imagine lavish vacations, an endless spree of designer shopping, and a jaw-dropping $500,000 driveway built for her mum. All funded by the taxpayers. Henyard has been living large, like Dalton's very own version of the Kardashians. But the FBI didn't just stumble upon some loose change. It seems this so-called super mayor may need more than just a flashy title to escape the mess she's created. To truly grasp the significance of Henyard's downfall, you have to look back at how she rose to power in the first place. While she was busy living a lavish lifestyle, stashing away millions, her town was sinking under a crushing $3.5 million debt. Her story began when she was appointed mayor after the sudden death of former mayor Frank Zuccarelli. There was plenty of speculation surrounding her appointment, but Henyard came in with big promises and even bigger ambitions. In addition to being Dalton's mayor, she also served as the supervisor for Thornton Township, where she raked in a hefty $200,000 salary. She boldly called herself the super mayor, as if it were her personal brand. However, her focus seemed less on serving the community and more on running the village like her own private empire. Her rise to power felt like something straight out of a movie, and when Tiffany Henyard was sworn in 3 years ago, her supporters were captivated. She promised to revitalize Dalton, and for a brief moment after her 2021 victory, it seemed like she might just deliver. But instead of revitalization, the town's finances collapsed faster than a malfunctioning computer, leaving Henyard at the center of a scandal. She acted as if she ruled her own fiefdom, exerting control with an iron grip. Allegations of her abusing her power for personal gain soon emerged, as people accused her of living a lavish lifestyle on the taxpayers' dime. One of the first major red flags was her boast about fixing the town, even as the FBI uncovered millions of dollars hidden away in her home during a raid. A discovery that seemed straight out of a heist movie. While Henyard had been living large, her town was sinking into financial ruin. Her fall from grace becomes all the more significant when you look back at how she managed to climb to the top in the first place. Millions of dollars had been stashed away, and while Henyard played the part of a high-flying, high-spending mayor, her town was sinking under the weight of a crippling $3.5 million debt. Her rise to power began when she was appointed mayor after the unexpected death of former mayor Frank Zuccarelli. There was no shortage of speculation about her appointment, but Henyard arrived with bold promises and even bigger ambitions. In addition to being mayor of Dalton, she also served as the supervisor of Thornton Township, earning an impressive $200,000 annually. She branded herself as the super mayor, but in reality she seemed more focused on building her own empire than on actually leading the town. Her ascent to power felt like something straight out of a movie, and when she was sworn in 3 years ago, her supporters were captivated by her promises of revitalizing Dalton. She had everyone talking about how she was going to make the town thrive again. But in the end, it became clear that her priorities lay elsewhere. Before Henyard's 2021 victory, Dalton was just another typical suburban town with fairs, parades, and small-town charm. Tiffany Henyard was treated like a local superstar, and for a brief moment, it seemed like she was going to lead the town into a brighter future. But that honeymoon period didn't last long. Once Henyard settled into her role, things quickly turned from questionable to downright corrupt. During her time in office, anyone who dared to criticize or challenge her was swiftly shut down. As Dalton's finances crumbled, Henyard acted like a ruler of her own fiefdom, controlling everything with an iron grip. Her tenure became riddled with scandal, with accusations that she was abusing her power to fund a lavish lifestyle. The first major red flag came when she promised to address the town's housing issues and secure funds for seniors and veterans, all while spending taxpayers' money on luxury vacations, fine dining, and enough designer bags to fill an entire boutique. She also surrounded herself with top-tier security details, sparking further concerns about her priorities. Henyard's wild Vegas trips and questionable donations to a breast cancer charity, ironically named the T. Henyard Care Foundation, are just the beginning of the story. On the surface, the charity may have seemed noble, but a closer look reveals that many of the generous donations were funded by taxpayer dollars. At the same time, Henyard's promises to improve the community were overshadowed by a federal investigation into her questionable spending, which could land her in serious legal trouble. In just 5 months, Henyard racked up a staggering $67,000 in travel expenses, more than most residents in Dalton make in an entire year. One of the most egregious examples came in July when Henyard travelled to Springfield on what was supposed to be a business trip. Instead of attending official meetings, she was spotted lounging in luxury hotels, riding motorcycles, and hanging out with her personal DJ and drone photographer. And of course, it was the taxpayers who footed the bill for her lavish hotel stays, expensive meals, and extravagant travel, all while she cruised around in a convoy of village and township vehicles. Henyard's ego reached new heights when she began plastering her face across massive billboards throughout the village, not funded by her campaign, but paid for by the public, using taxpayer dollars, all to promote herself. She even went as far as selling branded merchandise, including T-shirts and hoodies, which were ordered by Thornton Township. When residents questioned her about it, she remained silent. This behavior is not only highly unethical, but also outright illegal, even for seasoned politicians. Professionals have stated that using public funds to promote a political figure crosses a serious line. And state election laws across is serious line. When Henyard took office, she made sure to surround herself with a team of carefully selected officers for constant protection. But this wasn't just any standard security detail. It was one that racked up astronomical amounts in overtime. For example, Officer Terry Young reportedly worked 303 hours in just 2 weeks, earning over $113,000. Henyard's billboards were more than just bold, they were potentially criminal. And as for her so-called security detail, it wasn't just a few bodyguards. This was a full-fledged personal army, further draining public resources. Henyard's security detail wasn't just a few guards. It was a full-on 24/7 operation, as if she were a high-profile politician or a celebrity. But how could that be? The math simply doesn't add up. There are only 336 hours in a 2-week period, so if an officer like Terry Young is working 303 hours in that time frame, something's clearly off. Either he's bending time itself, or the whole operation is a scam. The result? Dalton's taxpayers are footing a bill that exceeds $1 million for a security detail in a town already drowning in debt. Meanwhile, the hard-working residents of Dalton are struggling to make ends meet, while their mayor lives like a president. It wasn't just the excessive overtime that raised eyebrows, the entire situation seemed absurd. Henyard's security detail was with her at all times, even accompanying her on out-of-town trips, which made locals cringe in disbelief. The lavish protection was so over the top that it became embarrassing for the community. When residents began raising questions, Henyard quickly claimed that the security was necessary due to alleged threats. But let's be real, no one was buying that explanation, especially after she fired the police chief for daring to challenge her extravagant demands.